Liv Morgan's injury isn't just another case of bad timing. It's a creative disaster that has forced WWE to throw out at least 3 interconnected storylines involving major names, high-profile matches, and championship implications. And now, we know just how deep the damage goes. According to a new report by Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net, Liv Morgan was at the center of a long-term creative plan stretching from Night of Champions all the way to Evolution 2. Her current shoulder injury, which will require surgery and could sideline her until late 2025, has thrown those plans into chaos. Let's start with what was originally booked. First, Liv Morgan was set to challenge Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship at Night of Champions on June 28. This was meant to be a high-profile title match, and it would have pushed Liv into the singles spotlight while maintaining her tag title run alongside Raquel Rodriguez. That singles match would have been followed just 2 weeks later by another massive showdown, a bout against Nikki Bella at Evolution 2, the returning all-women's premium live event scheduled for July 13. There were 2 possible directions: a one-on-one match or a dream tag team match featuring Liv and Raquel defending their WWE Women's Tag Team titles against the Bella Twins, pending Brie Bella agreeing to return. That's already 2 major matches involving 3 different storylines, and Liv was still involved in a faction war within the Judgment Day. Creative had been building subtle tension between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley's absence from the Judgment Day. With Finn Balor pushing for Roxanne Perez to join the group and Dominic Mysterio caught between allegiances, the plan was reportedly to stage a mixed tag team match featuring Liv and Dom versus Roxanne Perez and Finn Balor. This wasn't a random idea. WWE had laid the groundwork for months. There were internal power struggles, character tension, and social media teases all pointing toward this exact direction. It also positioned Roxanne Perez, a rising talent, for a major elevation. All of that is now gone. With Liv Morgan out, WWE had no choice but to make urgent creative adjustments. The latest reports suggest they're not planning to vacate the women's tag team titles, meaning Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan will remain champions, despite Liv's extended absence. This creates a logistical headache. If Liv can't compete for the foreseeable future, WWE will need a stand-in, and the solution seems to be Roxanne Perez. This would be similar to how Naomi was inserted into a tag team last year when Jade Cargill was written off. Nick Aldis told Bianca Belair to either find a partner or relinquish the titles. WWE could do the same thing here. Raquel finds a new partner, defends the belts, and keeps the division moving forward. Roxanne Perez fits the bill. She's young, talented, and already linked to the Judgment Day subplot. But there's a problem. Perez has quietly become one of the most defeated wrestlers on the roster. In fact, she reportedly has the most losses of any WWE superstar in 2025, which severely impacts her perception among fans. She's respected, but not yet viewed as a true threat. Constant losses risk cementing her as a utility player rather than a breakout star. Even so, WWE seems committed to using her in this pivot. And it could still pay off long-term. A future feud between a returning Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez writes itself, built around betrayal, opportunity, and unfinished business. That kind of feud could elevate both women. Now, regarding the Bella Twins, Nikki was reportedly set for a marquee match at Evolution 2. The plan was fluid depending on Brie's availability, but the expectation was a major nostalgia moment. This may now be off the table unless WWE quickly pivots Nikki into a singles feud with someone else. It's a disappointing twist for fans hoping to see the Bellas return in a meaningful way. Also impacted? Raquel Rodriguez. Her ongoing build toward a match with Rhea Ripley has to be delayed again due to the rebooking of the tag division. If WWE wants to continue her rise, they'll need to transition her out of tag storylines and into solo competition, something easier said than done given her current alignment with Liv and the status of the titles. And then there's Dominic Mysterio. His chemistry with Liv had created a rare dynamic, one that split Judgment Day loyalties and added depth to his character beyond his tension with Rhea Ripley. WWE will need to reconfigure this arc entirely, especially with Finn Balor still trying to steer the faction's direction and Damian Priest holding the World Heavyweight Championship. So what's next? WWE will likely go forward with Raquel and Roxanne defending the tag belts until Liv returns. The Judgment Day story may shift to center more on Baylor's conflict with Priest, or they could introduce another female superstar to carry Liv's role forward in the interim. But this isn't the only creative scramble WWE is dealing with right now. Let's look at some other major developments shaking things up behind the scenes. First, there's the increasingly complex situation surrounding Roman Reigns. While he hasn't officially returned to TV, insiders report that WWE is planning for him to make a high-impact comeback either just before or at SummerSlam. Reigns is expected to face Solo Sikoa, who has now taken over the bloodline and declared himself tribal chief. That match could define the summer, but Roman's schedule remains uncertain due to outside commitments. If he can't appear regularly, WWE may delay the match until Survivor Series, throwing the entire bloodline arc into limbo. Speaking of SummerSlam, plans for Gunther have also shifted. Originally pegged for a rematch with Sheamus or a collision with CM Punk, WWE may now be considering a title shot for Gunther, possibly against Damian Priest. Gunther's King of the Ring win solidified him as a main eventer, and he's expected to cash that momentum into a major title opportunity soon. Whether that happens in August or gets saved for later remains fluid, especially with Priest still caught between his babyface and Judgment Day loyalties. On the women's side, there's also uncertainty surrounding Becky Lynch. After her recent loss and rumored contract expiration, speculation is running rampant that she may be taking time off or leaving WWE altogether. Internally, WWE has reportedly paused creative plans for her until a final decision is made. This also affects possible plans involving Trish Stratus or a renewed rivalry with Rhea Ripley. Meanwhile, Logan Paul is once again creating buzz for his potential SummerSlam match. Early pitches involved LA Knight or even a returning Randy Orton, but new whispers suggest Paul may step into a multi-man US title match. WWE continues to value his social media reach, so expect a big spotlight, even if creative plans haven't been finalized. One more note, Drew McIntyre's heel turn has rejuvenated his character, and officials are reportedly thrilled with his recent performances. There's talk of positioning him as Seth Rollins' next major challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship once Rollins returns from injury. Depending on fan reactions and McIntyre's momentum, he could even walk out of SummerSlam with the title. So when you look at the Liv Morgan situation in context, it's just one of many moving parts, but arguably the most disruptive to multiple women's storylines. In an era where WWE has emphasized long-term storytelling, losing someone like Liv mid-feud, mid-title run, and mid-faction drama derails not just her momentum, but the stories of Raquel, Roxanne, Dominic, Nikki, and more. WWE will adapt, because they always do. But make no mistake, this wasn't just a minor adjustment. This was a full creative rewrite of multiple arcs that were supposed to peak during WWE's biggest summer stretch. How WWE responds in the next few weeks, especially at Money in the Bank and then at Evolution 2, will be key. Will they stick to the revised plans and elevate new stars like Roxanne Perez? Or will they reshuffle again? Whatever happens, Liv Morgan's absence will be felt, not just because of her popularity, but because of how tightly she was woven into the fabric of WWE's current creative landscape. And that's the reality of pro wrestling, where real injuries often write the most painful chapters.